Thank you so much for having me. The onset of COVID-19 has unarguably changed the entire world. And during the lockdown 1 and 2, production for most of our industry has been absolutely zero. So to put it shortly, I think the impact on our industry has been very huge. Um, at Ideal, also production was almost standstill for around 6 weeks. And during that time, of course, our sales and marketing teams, they were working from home, and they have continuously remained in touch with our customers. We have also organized several online interactive discussion sessions with our dealers in India and across the globe, which have been very, very helpful. I think virtual conferences, meetings are going to keep the business functional in the times to come. After this 6 weeks of a very harsh lockdown, it was quite clear to me that the cases would continue to rise, and that no lockdown is going to be impervious. After all, what we are dealing with is a virus, and it is definitely going to hang around. So with that thought in mind, we decided to start production in between the lockdown. We got permission from the district commissioner according to the notification of the government. And of course, the permission was for export orders only. And we started very, very slowly, haltingly in the third week of April. Our HR and our production teams, they worked jointly. They prepared very, very detailed SOPs, keeping in mind our shop floor and our processes. After the lockdown, what I saw that when people were coming in, when they started work, that they were really, really scared. And I think the industry will have to work on this fear factor, because most of us, most of the people after this lockdown, they're thinking like, COVID is not a virus, but it is like almost like a contagious cancer. So we will have to work really hard for the getting back the confidence, for restoring the confidence back in people. We'll have to change their mindset so that they can follow a new normal that we have laid down with a lot of caution, but without fear. I think with the SOPs, of course, the basic SOPs like masks, thermal scanning. At our factory, we do it twice in a day. We have social distancing practices. We have trained them for that. We have staggered breaks. We have absolutely restricted movements between the departments, and this is really, really helping, because we have a big team, and restricting this movement will help in they not being exposed to the entire team. Frequent sanitization and many, many other safety measures, I think each industry factory will have to take, keeping in mind their operation or their workplace. Um, Currently, Ideal is working with around 40% of our capacity, and maybe gradually we'll increase our production, of course, depending on the domestic and overseas demands. Uh, One more thing we'll have to keep in mind is that there is a lot of uncertainty in the market. So we'll have to keep our operations pretty much flexible, and we'll have to keep reviewing our production plans very regularly. With all this, I can conclude by saying that our industry has already taken first steps. We all have started operation partly, but definitely we will have to ensure a very safe environment at our workplace for our staff and labor. so that we can move towards a sustainable new normal. I think that the spare manufacturers will have to break into newer global markets by having a better product, which is complete with maybe service and uniqueness, as the domestic markets may take some more time to revive. Also, as everyone knows, it is the right time to do that, as the countries around the world have learned a lesson from this crisis. Everybody wants to look for a substitute to Chinese products. So I think our industry should capitalize on this situation, and we should present ourselves as a creditable alternative to Chinese products. Second is, I think we'll all have to address the issue of labor. Textile industry, we all know, is very, very labor intensive, and majority of our workers are migrant labor who have either returned to their natives, or they are planning to go back. So everybody knows that there is a huge disruption in the workflow and production schedules. We will need for this we will need innovative incentives and safety at our workplace, and we will have to find so many ways to motivate them, so that the force our workforce and the company, the industry, can progressively, collectively go forward together. Thirdly, I think we will all need to optimize, because we have to produce maybe the same amount or even more by training, cross-training our staff. This will definitely help in reducing our manufacturing costs. I also think the now plan, what we have to think now or for the next 3 months, must be a plan for survival. The next quarter is not going to be determined by our growth or profitability in any way. It is going to be our mere ability to survive and not run out of cash. It will be so I think it will be imperative for us to keep a very, very close watch on our cash flows, as the market is highly, very, very illiquid. Products for, especially for the accessory manufacturers, the products which will help save energy, which will help the industry with reduced maintenance costs, which have longevity, will be easier to sell, and so we'll have to continue investing in new product development. Lastly, I think as far as textiles is concerned, the demand for hygiene textile is going to be very, very high. All the products, whether it's apparel wear or home textiles, knitted, woven, we'll have to have inbuilt hygiene in them. Looking at the demands during the pandemic, Ideal is also planning and working towards introducing new products and upgrading our existing ones. We plan to bring in newer and more efficient versions of our high COP content energy saving tubes, and also the impact gliding tubes, which we have recently launched. Also, we are launching a completely new series of ball bearing bobbin holders in the next quarter. So yes, Ideal is coming up with a lot of new things in the next quarter. In India, a lot happens on emotions. Right now, it is going to take, I think, some time for people to get over the shock of job losses, salary cuts, so many things like that. But I think in the next 8 to 10 months, we can expect some stability, or maybe even growth. That I think, because partly the suppressed demand during the lockdowns, it will come back. Partly it will be high time, and people will need a feel good factor. So personally, I think there are many chances that within 8 or 10 months, the market will absolutely surprise us. And I would definitely prepare ideal for that kind of surge in demand. And I would wish everybody all the very best. So be safe and take care.